Hi, I'm Justin and I'm building a stationery company I believe will be bigger than Hallmark. Here's how Q1 2026 went. And spoiler alert, it's working? Like, what is happening? I'm very happy. Don't get me wrong. Please keep working. But like, what? You're building a stationery company in this economy and it's actually working? It's been a minute since my last video. So first, let me just say hi. I missed you. I'm sorry that it's been so long. And if this is your first time watching, I'm happy you're here. For a long time, building this business felt like I was planting seeds in the dark. It was a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of faith, and a lot of me wondering to myself, is this even gonna work? Like, is it possible for my dreams to become a reality? Q1 showed me that there is proof in the possibility. And honestly, it gave me a sigh of relief. Q1 was the first quarter where SoCurious started to feel like a legitimate, real business, not just like a fragile pastime, hobby, dream. And it's crazy because it's still growing. It's still very chaotic. It's unwieldy at times. Low-key, I feel like it's held together by sheer force of will, taking edibles and making lists in notebooks. I have like several notebooks on my desk right now. Yeah. But this quarter, it kind of felt different. It gave me evidence that my dreams were a reality, and I'm gonna talk you through some of the things I learned along the way. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers. First and foremost, we got 20,000 visits to the SoCurious shop. We had about a 2.59% conversion rate, which is exceptionally high for this industry, and 722 orders in total. Like, people be buying art. People buy greeting cards. People be buying stuff, y'all. And I want to be clear. I know these numbers don't sound revolutionary, but I need you to remember one thing. This is still mostly me. It's still mostly manual, and it's happening from my apartment in Austin, Texas. I am building this from scratch, y'all. Number two, my collab with Evelyn from the internet actually worked. So I decided to relaunch SoCurious at the beginning of the year. I'll be honest, this was the last ditch effort. It was like, okay, if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If it's not gonna work, I'm letting it go. So I hit up my friend Evelyn. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this thing. I need your help. And like, y'all, it worked. It worked. We got about 485 pre-orders for the shop relaunch, which is wild. And what made it special was that I got to do it with my friend, like somebody I actually genuinely care about. And she was supporting me, but I also had the opportunity to support her with my artwork. And so it just was like the perfect collaboration. Like, it made me so happy. Oh my God, Evelyn, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Number three, and we have 38 subscribers to the SoCurious Mail Club. I know that might sound small, but that's recurring revenue for the business. And let me tell you, recurring revenue helps me sleep easier at night. It's low-key the difference between I'm stressed out about cash flow and I can actually consider taking a vacation. Yeah. Recurring revenue is literally freedom. What's really unique about the SoCurious Mail Club is you get to help me pick which products are going to go into the SoCurious shop. And so I share examples of products with the subscribers that I want to launch in the store. I get feedback, I make revisions, and then I share it with the world. It's almost like a test kitchen for the stationery brand. But what did I actually build? So my anthem for 2026 is Let It Grow. And I am so grateful that Q1 kind of showed me what was possible with my big ideas turning into a reality this time around. I want to talk about a few of the things that I'm the most proud of achieving in this section. First, I built a shipping and fulfillment system that does not feel like I'm running a one-man sweatshop. Like pre-ordering the materials, getting them all packed in advance, and then setting up my studio so that I can just build people's orders. It is a chef's kiss dream. It also was a lot of pressure kind of putting together those 485 pre-orders. And so it encouraged me to lean on support from my community here in Austin. I have friends helping me pack materials, and specifically my friend Rosa has been an integral support in making sure that the day-to-day logistics of the business run smoothly. So I'm so thankful to her. Thank you, Rosa. I appreciate you. Number two, and this is kind of a sidebar from what we've normally talked about, but over the past 10 months, I've been creative director for Neurodiversion. It's a conference for people with ADHD, dyslexia, autism, and other forms of neurospiciness. And so I was on the committee helping to plan the event, but also was responsible for developing a lot of the swag that was produced for the event. So our theme this year was different by design, and we created some really cool stuff. You'll see some of it on the screen right now. But this year we extended the partnership beyond just designing items. And SoCurious actually did its fourth Joy is the Revolution pop-up. Y'all, we have done 4 Joy is the Revolution pop-ups so far. I'm I'm so grateful and thankful that that is a reality. I'm like low key gobsmacked. I'm not even gonna. What? What was interesting about the experience is that by doing a Joyous Revolution pop up at an expo, it kind of changed my perspective on what the brand could be and who we could connect. Right? Initially, I was doing all these art markets, and I love doing art markets. But this exposed me to a new audience and kind of laid the foundation for what I think I want to continue to do this year, which is to show up in unexpected spaces and do pop-ups that allow us to connect with new audiences. If you know of any expos or conferences where a Joyous Revolution pop-up should be, please let me know. You can email me at justin@SoCurious.com. I'd love to be there. Number 3, I extended the SoCurious product collection through the SoCurious Mail Club. Every month, I curate a small selection of items. It'll be a greeting card or some stationery item or a to-do list or some type of art print. And I share with the community and get their feedback. And then based on the feedback, I adjust and edit the items. And then my favorite ones end up coming to the online shop. And we've got so many more products coming in 2026. I cannot wait to start rolling them out soon. I also want to pat myself on the back. I got all of the SoCurious mail clubs out on time, and your boy has ADHD heavy. So please clap for me. Number 4, I finally dipped my toe back into public speaking. I had 2 significant speaking engagements this year. The first was at an elementary school. I was hired by the PTA to give a series of presentations on why joy is the revolution. And what we did was pretty unique. They set me up in the library and the students came in one class at a time. So I ended up giving the presentation 25 times. 25 times I gave this presentation over the course of 2 days. It was beautiful, y'all. I got to interact with students in a way that I had not before, and I genuinely loved it. What we did that was really special is I gave this like 10, 15-minute presentation. And then the students got to do a simple art assignment where they designed their own joy flag, and it was so beautiful, y'all. Oh my God. That was like probably the highlight. Seeing all the different flags decorated by the students, especially seeing how they translated their unique identity into building this thing. That was special. That was really special. Oh, I want to do that again. And then at the Neurodivergent Conference, I gave the Joy Reset Talk. This is my first time giving that presentation, and I was so hyped, y'all. I was sitting in a room full of people that were actually fully invested and visibly moved by the things that I was saying. It was really beautiful being able to share my personal philosophy on why joy is revolutionary. And honestly, I want to give that presentation more. I would love to give it 10 more times in 2026. Like, can you help me make that possible? Now, let me say, I want to get paid to speak. I like getting paid to speak, but I really want to get this message out in front of as many people as possible. Like, it's important. And then number 5, the final thing on this list, I got to flex my muscles outside of SoCurious. Now, the most important to me is that I had one of my illustrations featured in Flow magazine. Wait, let me get it. This issue of Flow magazine. Thumbnail right here. Yeah, in 2025, all of my illustration projects dried up, and so it was really nice to be able to share that part of myself with the world again. I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes external validation feels good. I also got the opportunity to partner with Shimmer, an ADHD coaching brand, for a social media campaign. Super excited about that. And then I recorded a podcast interview, my first podcast interview of 2026. But the one that I think people watching this channel will care about the most, y'all, I finished The Artist's Way. It took me 3 years to do it, and I'm fully making a video about my experience with this book. I did every single activity in that book. I read it thoroughly. I journaled almost every single day, Monday through Friday, for the past 3 years. I've taken myself on countless artist dates. And honestly, it changed my perspective on who I am as an artist. And I am so grateful to Julia Cameron for doing it. So yeah, those are 5 things I'm most proud of accomplishing in 2026. Okay, now let's talk about social media. I'll be honest, my relationship with social media these days has been strained. I'm not fully an everybody should go offline person, but I do see the value of this analog revolution, and so much of what I'm doing with SoCurious is tied to that, of course. Some days I love social media. I'm not even gonna hold you. I love watching a silly TikTok video. They be making me laugh. I love watching and trying to learn these line dances. I really am enamored by so many creative people being able to express themselves so clearly. But it's also a time suck. And occasionally I'll find myself doom scrolling. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to build a stationery brand that's bigger than Hallmark. I don't got time for this. And then the other aspect of it is I will share all of this content and I never know what will work. Like literally my favorite posts will get zero traction. And then the things that I make in a hurry, the things that I kind of am not even feeling that much, that'll be the thing that pops off. And I'm like, why do y'all be doing this to me? Like, how can I not figure out this algorithm? Algorithms are weird. I wish things could be curated by people again. Can we go back to human curation? I feel like that's what people want the most. So across all of my platforms, I posted about 120 times in Q1. And that's a lot. But I feel like I kind of have to do it. I want people to know that I exist. But I want to go into the growth breakdown per platform. I finally saw growth on my personal Instagram. Y'all, I was stuck at 10,000 followers on Instagram for over a year and a half. And it was so hype when I hit that goal. But then I was like, I am not getting any additional growth. Now I've hit 11,200 followers, and so we saw a little uptick there. Really proud of that for Q1. I had a huge growth on the Threads platform. If you haven't used this, Threads is one of the most wholesome, beautiful spaces on the internet to me. I was a huge Twitter user before they changed their name to X. I promptly deleted the app, gave up my Twitter account fully because what are y'all doing? And moved my happy tail over to Threads. And I really like it over there. We had about a 5K jump over the course of Q1, which is bananas. Very happy about that. It surprised me, but it also kind of solidified this thing that I'm a writer. I'm a multi-passionate creative, but I've always seen myself primarily as a visual creative. And it's so strange because even when I worked in advertising as a creative director, I was responsible for doing so much copywriting, but I've always had this weird relationship with seeing myself as a copywriter. And so it's like, boy, you are writing copy and it is resonating with people's hearts and minds. And so, Justin, yes, you are a writer. Oh my God, I'm a writer. I'm a writer and an artist, a coach and an entrepreneur. I'm so many things. It's overwhelming sometimes. I do not like it. I promise. Sometimes I love it. And then the biggest point of growth was on TikTok. First, SoCurious went from 0 followers, literally 0 followers to 3,000 followers in Q1. So what I did, and it's so obvious. I don't know why I had never done this before. I just shared the process of relaunching the brand. I did these little cute videos where I shared what was going on in my day-to-day life. I introduced the product collections. I talked about the pre-order campaign, and it really was sticky and resonated. It kind of showed me the power of sharing your story. I also think it crystallized something for me, which is like, I like making video content, and as much as I resist it, it is a huge part of growing your brand in 2026. And so I gotta stop fighting it. Y'all gotta see my face. Y'all gotta hear my voice. It's so awkward. It is so, I'm sitting in my office talking to myself, essentially. I've got a Word doc up that's like keeping me on track so I know what I'm supposed to be talking about. But like, this is my job. My job is to talk to people now. And I'm like, wait, that's interesting. Low key, I always wanted to be Clarissa from Clarissa Explains It All. And in many ways, I feel like that's what I'm doing. Nah, 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 nah. I'm ridiculous. Let's talk about the key learnings. Here's the biggest thing nobody tells you when you're running a business. Your energy is your biggest constraint. There are only 24 hours in the day. And while I have the same 24 hours that Beyonce has, I am not Beyonce because I never would have married Jay-Z. Also, Jay-Z would not have married me, let's be clear. I'm one human being. I've got ADHD and fluctuating self-esteem. Like literally within one given day, I will feel like I have the capacity to literally save the universe. And then in that same day, I will be like, I'm going to be homeless. If I make one more mistake, I will be homeless. Both of them are wild extremes. And so I'm trying to not go all the way over here and not go all the way over here and stay somewhere in the middle. But, you know, I'm human. I'm an artist and an entrepreneur. So what radically changed in Q1 is I become relentless with my energy. I don't got time to be ruminating about past pain. That's shut down for the foreseeable future. I go out of my way to be exceptionally kind to myself and surround myself with very supportive, kind human beings. I don't got no time for fake energy. Child, I don't got no time for drama, unnecessary drama. Get out of my face with that. We're doing peaceful hangouts. We're doing joy. We're doing friendship and camaraderie. We're not doing all that backbiting. Get out of my face with that. And what's interesting is that I will have these days where I will be able to do more work than I think most people are able to do in a day. It's like I will be locked all the way in and I'm like able to like knock off so many things on the to-do list. And then I'll have these days where it's like my brain is not my friend. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to do anything, it feels like. And what's interesting is that now I'm learning to just flow with the rhythms of my body. It's like if I'm having a good brain day, I'm going to go all out and do everything that I know how to do in order to set myself up for long-term success. But if my brain is not acting right, I don't force it anymore. It's like I will pick 1 to 3 things on the to-do list that feel like they're actually important and integral for that day. I do them and then I'm done. I'm going to be sitting on that couch watching Jim and the Holograms for the rest of the day. Wait, have you watched Jim and the Holograms? Oh my God. I'm such a fan of this show. It's so good. And I'll admit, I'm working more than 40 hours a week. It's usually around 50-ish hours. But it feels different than it did when I was working for other people. It feels like I'm having a beautiful time hanging out with myself, making things that I think are interesting, and then packing and shipping orders, kind of coming up with strategies for social media, writing emails and scripts for shows like this. And then figuring out how to build this brand and connect with new audiences and build new partnerships. Second thing that I learned, and this one is really good. If you are an entrepreneur of any type, I would get really stuck on trying to make a set amount per month. I have fully switched my perspective and now I try to set weekly targets. And that is a really effective tool for me because it allows my brain to kind of break something big that feels unachievable into smaller bite-sized pieces. And so then I can know if I'm on track for hitting my monthly targets well in advance and then kind of adjust accordingly if necessary by either doing more pop-ups or trying to run different promotions. It's really helping with the weekly targets. I highly recommend it. I aim for $1,500 a week. If I do more than that, it's awesome and it lowers the amount that I have to make the week after that. If I do lower than that, it puts me into like go mode and I try to push harder to make additional revenue. It's interesting because through this process, my relationship with money is shifting. In many ways, money used to be scary and overwhelming and just like not fun to deal with. And now money is becoming something fun and joyful and almost like a game that I get to play. And I want more of that. I really want more of that. Does that make sense? I don't know. Does that make sense? Number 3, burnout is a bad business decision. I'm not grinding through exhaustion to prove that I am worthy of success. I don't have to prove nothing to know. I feel like that's a scarcity mindset that we put in this idea that you have to hustle, grind, work. It's like it's unrealistic. We are human beings and human beings are not here to sit in front of a computer screen and do one specific task over and over and over again. That's just not how it works. Instead, I do a lot of what's called working in sprints. What this means is I'll take a collection of tasks that I want to achieve and I'll work on them in a dedicated amount of time. I kind of picked this up from working in tech briefly. Let's say, for example, I want to do a new product launch. It's like I'm going to focus my attention only on that new product launch for a full week or 2 weeks until it's done. I'm going to take a little bit of a respite, get back readjusted, and then we're going to align on what the next big goal is and push towards that. The other thing I'm doing is really prioritizing my leisure time and my rest. You have to refill your cup regularly, especially when you are a creative entrepreneur. Especially when you are living through the weirdest, most strange times in our collective history where it feels like everything is working against you in every way to make you feel depressed, sad, anxious, and overwhelmed. That's why I believe joy is a revolution. And the other thing I've been learning is how to ask for help, how to outsource things to my community, and also how to pay my friends to do things that I think they'd be good at. It's a useful tool. I feel like more people should be paying their friends to help them do things. We will pay everybody else in the whole world to do everything else. But if you have talented friends, especially if they are artists, especially if they are creative, pay your friends to do their creative tasks for you. That's real community right there. You know that? That's real community. Number 4 is kind of a dovetail on the last one. But fun is not a luxury in a business. Fun is actually the business model. And this is really interesting. Yes, I have to make serious decisions. I'm building a business that I want to exist for many years, right? And so I have to be logical. I have to use my left brain a lot in order to achieve the things that I want to achieve. But the other side of the puzzle is I have to enjoy the process. Because if I'm not enjoying the process, it shows in the business. When I'm in a space where I feel peaceful and joyful and I'm allowing myself to have fun, I make better business decisions. When my nervous system is regulated, I make better business decisions. And so I try to make sure that I have plenty of time on my schedule that's free. Free time to create the things that I want to create. Free times to go to coffee shops and just sit and read a book because I'm interested in the book, not because the book will lead to me growing my business. And what ends up happening is the free time that I use, it ends up being this valuable tool that sets me up for this long-term success. This fifth one is something that is really challenging to accept, but I'm learning to accept it. The business grows at the pace that I can personally hold it. So my job as an entrepreneur is to extend my capacity through help, through systems, and through ruthless prioritization. It's hard because there are so many things that I want to do in a single week, but there is only so much time. And so I have to be really aggressive with how I spend my energy. And it's really, this isn't like growth hacking. This isn't trying to create viral moments. This is me going, can I hold this business together without causing myself pain, frustration, and overwork? And so I have to be really strategic about how I do that. Now, what I'm hoping for is that eventually the machine will function without me needing to like pull all the levers. You know, like right now, I feel like I'm in the machine and I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. In an ideal scenario, I will have built a machine. I will have the right people running the machine. And all I got to do is come in and fix it every once in a while. Make sure things are staying on track. Now, that's the goal. We're not there yet. We're in our first good Q1. But what I love about this process is that I'm watching my ideas become a reality. And through that, I am seeing it grow. I'm seeing it grow, y'all. I'm really proud. What's next for SoCurious? I'm glad you asked. Nobody asked. I'm literally talking to myself. I have a Word document up. This is so weird. I started with 16 key priorities for my business. No. Just do it. Man, Ferguson was so annoying. I am a little brother, and so I wonder if I was the Ferguson to my sister's Clarissa. Low key, Ferguson kind of looked like Steve Urkel. Was Ferguson white Steve Urkel? Definitely, Ferguson is fully a tech entrepreneur now, and he's building a business that is draining our vital resources and laughing all the way to the bank. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And Clarissa, she has a YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, duh, of course. I started with 16 key priorities, but I'll share the most important ones with you now. Number one, I'm scaling with partnerships and collaborations. The key to collective building to me is leveraging audience, capital, and influence in order to intentionally drive revenue for myself, for my company, but also for the people that I work with. And I think this is an integral shift that has happened. I feel like when I was thinking more so like an artist and less like an entrepreneur, I was trying to do fun things with my friends. Now I see there is so much value in creating monetary exchange in order to allow yourself to create revenue, but also to create revenue for the people that you love, right? It is such a gift to be able to create opportunities for the people that I care about to make additional revenue. And so I'm thinking about it through that lens. And so specifically, I would love to create fruitful partnerships with people that bring things to the table that I do not have the capacity to bring. Now, what has been happening pretty frequently recently is either artists or writers are reaching out in order to want to make greeting cards with me. And I understand why people want to do that, but a core function of this business is that I am the artist, right? I wanted to create a system for me to be able to share my creativity with the world and get paid to do it. And so when I think about partnerships and collaborations right now, it's like I want to work with people that have built their own influence through channels like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, or they have a thriving newsletter, and they want to sell products to their audience that they've been cultivating over a variety of time. That's the type of partnerships I'm going after in the immediate sense. And so my intention is to continue to grow in that area. If you're interested and want to shoot me an email at justin@SoCurious.co, feel free. I would love to hear from you. Number 2, I'm finally committing to YouTube, y'all. It's like I had that one video that went like low level viral for me, and then I got overwhelmed by it, and then I created a whole bunch of videos afterwards, but none of them hit because I was like trying to be formulaic and like not be myself. I don't know why. It's like so weird because looking back, I understand exactly what happened and how I got thrown off course, but now I'm back. He's back. Nah. Yeah, I was journaling last week and it was interesting. I used to be so afraid of being perceived. I grew up like feeling afraid of people's judgment, and I experienced so much judgment over the course of my life that I thought that when people saw they would judge me. And that's true. Some people will judge you. That's just how it is. You have to accept that. What I've learned is that the people that have achieved the goals that I want to achieve are not the ones judging people. Those are the people doing the hard work of creating something real from nothing, and they don't have the time to judge because they are so focused on building the thing that they are building. And if you know anybody that has built anything from scratch, from nothing, that road is so hard and challenging. And if you knew what that person was going through, I promise you, you would have so much less judgment and you would have so much more admiration, because you would know that they have died 1,000 times in order to create that thing. I look at the people that build interesting things with their art, with their writing, with their words, with their talent, and I go, wow, you pushed through. You did not give up. Oh, I admire that. And so I'm committed to YouTube now. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show up regularly. I'm going to share my real personality, and it's going to be awkward because I have to edit it and I hate editing, but we're going to do it. Yeah, I don't think I'm afraid of being seen anymore. Hi. And then number 3, the final one, this should be obvious, but my goal is to make as many products as possible for the SoCurious shop. And more importantly, I'm trying to roll them out as quickly as possible. I am a prolific creator. I love creating things. And so I've got to get faster at putting these things out into the world. It's also fun for my ADHD brain. But most important to me, I create so many different types of products, and every time you come see me at a booth, it will have some of your old favorites, but there will also be a host of new items that you have never seen. And in that way, SoCurious is almost like Marshalls or TJ Maxx. Not that it's a discount brand, but that it has a rotating stock of goods. And what you see this week, you might not see next week. And so I want to build that into the flow of the business. I feel like that's an interesting way to keep things novel and distinct. But here's the most important focus. And I'm adding this here because I don't want to forget it myself. I'm doing all of this at a pace where I do not have to sacrifice any part of myself. I work the toxic job. I know what it's like to push myself to my limits every single week because I feel like I have to. And I no longer subscribe to that way of thinking. I will not sacrifice my joy for SoCurious. I will not sacrifice joy to build this business. And the reason I will not do that is because my joy is the revolution. Now, if you haven't watched my viral for me video on quitting my toxic corporate job, you should watch that. It's right here. If you'd like to learn more about me or the brand, visit justinshields.com/social. This is where you can sign up for my email list. You can learn more about the SoCurious shop or follow me on all the social media channels. And y'all, that's the 2026 Q1 update. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye. What was she doing? She was like spelling her name. Na. Oh, it would have been backwards. Just do it. Da-na-na-na.